What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Alright, so today we have a short film to check out. This one is titled Last Requests. It is by Amelito. As usual, I leave the link for the original video down below in the description area if you guys want to check that out for yourselves later on. And also, looks like this one's about 18 minutes long, so almost 20 minutes. So let's go ahead and jump into this one here. And as usual, I will also give you guys my thoughts right after the video.
Pork chops, nice and thick. Maybe corn when it's in season. And mashed potatoes with gravy. Now that's a proper meal. Food that reminds you of your childhood. What my husband Derek used to call a bit of all right. Steak. I used to try and find them a nice cut when they'd ask for it. Figuring they deserve a little something nicer than Chuck. I do a good steak. It was one of Derek's favorites. Nothing like a steak spitting in your eyes. But you want a steak when it's just off the skillet. Better off with something that keeps, like a stew or pot pie. I suppose they don't think about that when they're ordering. Why should they? Not like they haven't got enough on their minds already.
They always eat the meal?
You know, I haven't the slightest idea. I'm always gone by the time Dudley gets back with the tray.
I don't think I could have an appetite knowing I was about to die.
It looks like they're in a prison kitchen. Like cooking for somebody.
So,
That's clearly
who's getting the meal tonight?
death penalty.
That boy who climbed a tree at a playground and started firing. Killed 11 little ones, 3 mothers, and a nanny from Guatemala.
Oh my God.
Don't beat the doe to death.
I remember him. You know, I used to take my daughter to that park until I realized that man is God's mistake. If I'd have known that's who we were cooking for, I never would have come.
What are you doing in here?
They already let Carla go, so Jeremy said I could borrow Nancy from the big house for the night.
What's on the menu tonight, Miss Maggie?
Roasted chicken, mashed potatoes, and broccoli. Be ready in a little over an hour. You come back then.
30 years. I can't believe you put up with these men for 30 years, Miss Maggie.
Let's not make a big deal of it, please.
I'm gonna miss you and your cooking. Well, good God, am I glad they're getting rid of this program.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Now wait just a minute.
Murderers, rapists, bunch of coons and white trash eating their free government meals on my tax dollar. Nobody give me no free meal.
You watch your tongue. This is still my kitchen.
I'm sorry, Miss Maggie. I'm just trying to tell you how it is.
Got the sun glare in my eyes. It's a nice day outside, so that's why I see all this light coming in. Wait. Yo, what is that
It
guy's
is
problem,
there.
man?
You'll have to forgive him. He wasn't always like that. The years have taken their toll. I imagine there'll be days when I'll miss Deadly Dudley.
Why you call him that?
Allen County moves slower than molasses. I reckon even the stews must be cold by the time Deadly Dudley gets over to the death house.
Deadly Dudley.
And you can forget about them steaks.
What's the matter with her?
What do you think you're doing?
Okay, no need to make a fuss. I'll get a newer one if it'll make you happy.
That's the last thing he's ever gonna taste. You use this one.
Oh, she's gonna switch it. That's crazy, man. It like reminds us not to take our food for granted.
I hate to say it.
Every meal that we eat, you know?
He's got a point. You're cooking like it's for your own kin. Don't forget, this man killed 15 people. Most of them little ones.
At least he didn't request the governor's head on a platter. I've gotten that one a few times. McDonald's was a popular one. I'd have to order ahead, get a taxi cab to bring it up. They'd come in, sometimes yelling, "Eat up!" I doubt they ever knew who it was for. I remember my first time ordering McDonald's. I wanted it to look like a nice, proper meal. Next day, Dudley told me he'd thrown his food all over his cell. I guess everyone has their own way of eating McDonald's.
My daughter likes to dip her fries in her milkshake.
The strangest request was from that lawyer who murdered his wife.
Wait, didn't he hire somebody?
No. He and his mistress murdered her for the insurance money. Asparagus spears to start, 2 guinea fowl wrapped in bacon and roasted, buttered green beans, and mashed celeriac.
Mashed celeriac?
I'll be honest with you, I had to look it up.
I don't even know what that means.
And creme brulee for dessert. I wanted to go up there and tell him if he wanted fancy French food, he better come down here and cook it for himself.
Why you let those men walk all over you?
I beg your pardon?
Come on, creme brulee? Guinea fowl? Come on, what is that?
Now, one last special meal ain't hurting nobody.
What about those children? Who was there for them when they were dying? Your potatoes are boiling.
That's crazy because they're both have sympathy for both sides, you know? Even though
Excuse me for a minute.
sympathy should be for the children more than anybody else. Is that guy her son, maybe?
I am sorry, Miss Maggie. If I offended you, it's just I think that...
Derek's last meal was an egg salad sandwich. That's the trouble with hospitals. Meal orders are put in the night before. So if you check in late, chances are you'll get the meal of the person before you.
Oh, man. Yeah, I've heard that. Hospital food sucks. Wait, have I had it?
Derek
have
didn't
I
get
had
his
hospital-
room till the late afternoon.
I don't know if I've had
so
hospital
great.
food. I can't remember.
That's what I remember the most.
I don't think I have.
That and his breathing.
It's Blake. Why are we going through all this trouble for him?
It's what he would have wanted.
What, who would have wanted?
It's almost like she's cooking for her husband. I'm assuming that man in the photo was her husband, passed away.
You're fooling yourself, you know that?
I was like you.
Uh-oh.
I used to come in here and not give him two shits about who I was cooking for. Meal after meal. Death after death. They are human beings waiting for their turn to die. Doesn't really matter anymore, does it? Y'all still cooking that white mush over at Polunsky? It's almost ready.
You didn't say nothing about no pie.
You know as well as I do that every dinner deserves a pie. And I know what you will be eating later tonight.
These men don't deserve you, Miss Maggie.
There's something wrong with her health, huh? She's like dying herself. She keeps like taking pauses and taking breaths. Like if she's fighting against something. Oh, she's gonna pray. Oh, man.
Bless this meal, that it may bring him comfort and peace before he goes to meet you, Lord. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Man, that looks good. Like a real meal. Nothing like a home-cooked meal with something baked on the side. That's for sure, man. She's done. Did he not eat the chicken? What happened?
It's time. Niece. Track 17.
This is sad, man. This is breaking my heart right now, just watching it. I'm starting to feel exactly like the woman that was cooking for him. Like, regardless of his actions, still seeing him as a human being. Somebody with mental health issues, somebody that was going through something. Not excusing his actions. Definitely not. It was horrible, but oh man. In 2011, Texas eliminated the last meal requests. Today, death row inmates are served whatever the general population is eating that day. Wow. Oh my God. I've never even thought about any of this. This was powerful, man. This is indeed powerful. All right, you guys. That was Last Requests. Yo, this was a very beautiful and powerful film. I was so immersed in this film. Every moment of it, it just had me engaged. I really loved the message that it gave, regardless of, somebody's actions or someone else's perspective. Everyone in this world, regardless of what they've done, they're still human. And it's easy to judge, it's easy to hate, it's easy to discriminate, it's easy to think that they deserve less than you as an individual. And there was two sides or two perspectives in this story, right? The older woman, I believe her name was Miss Maggie, and the younger woman, I forgot what her name was, but they're both in the kitchen. At first, it just starts off as the lady, Miss Maggie speaking to, I didn't know who she was talking to. I thought she was just talking to herself, but she's just like cooking a meal, right? Or she's prepping everything to cook the meal that she's going to make this prisoner who's on the death penalty. And it's pretty much his last meal before that happens. And she's talking about her husband, Derek, who later we see a picture of as well, right? During like the kind of back and forth when the conversation gets kind of heated between her and the young lady, we see him in the picture. And, well, she's cooking this meal, and, as the story progresses, we find out that she's making this for this prisoner. But in reality, she's also making this because she, calls back to her husband, and her husband that passed away, who his last meal was an egg sandwich, right, in a hospital. And she has a huge problem with the hospitals just providing like pretty much crappy food to people who are also on their last days there, right, who have their last meal. And so she has taken pretty much this pride, this love for cooking for anybody, no matter what they've done, no matter what situation they're in. She has taken this joy and this love for them, this compassion that obviously the younger woman lacks. Understandably to an extent, though, because She's talking about the act of violence, the like heinous crime that this man did. I can understand her anger, but I sided more with Miss Maggie because I love her compassion. And I always think about like past experiences of mine. I've never had something terrible happen to me, thank God. But I have had tough moments. I have had terrible relationships, horrible endings with people, and I can easily be mad at the past or be angry at them or just wish them the worst or whatever, right? Or maybe think myself as a higher person than they are. But that doesn't lead me anywhere. That doesn't lead anybody anywhere. It just leads to like a pride, it leads to a self-pride. It leads to a lack of sympathy, right? And empathy. It's just, it doesn't lead to anywhere good. So Miss Maggie's approach was definitely something I would have gone with myself. And yeah, I really love how she connected this to her husband that passed away. As soon as she let the young lady know about him, it was just powerful. And ultimately, at the end of this film, the message for all of us here was just to not forget that we're all human and we all make mistakes. And no matter, again, what situation or what mistakes you've made, there's always a little bit of room for kindness. Even if it's not directly towards the person, you can still do something, even if you're away from the person, like wish them well or do a prayer for them, for their soul to be saved, or for them to come to their, come to their senses and realize what they've done wrong. There's just so much room for kindness. And people forget that because sometimes we get prideful, just like the young lady. So we know that the young lady, she was an example of those people who are not forgiving, who become hateful. As a matter of fact, there's a scene where the officer kind of like scares them or something, and he just kind of laughs and walks out of the room. And then Miss Maggie says, you'd have to forgive him for that. It was really subtle, the message, but it clarified even more her perspective, her approach to things, of how she wanted to be kind and loving towards anybody, no matter what they've done, especially for this prisoner who she didn't even know, but knew based off of her experience with her husband that was going to be his last meal, and she wanted to make the best meal she can ever make for him. As much as she wishes she would make it, she would have had the chance to make it for her husband, that passed away. So I think this was very, very good, guys. What did you think? Let me know down below in the comment sections. I would like to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to support it more. And if you want to watch more reactions like this, also subscribe down below. And I always love requests. So if you have any requests for me, you can drop them down below in the comments and just tell me, hey, check this out. And when I get the chance, I will do that for you and give you my thoughts as well for that film. So thank you guys so much for watching this with me. I hope you guys have a great and blessed day, and cherish every meal that you guys eat. Cherish every day that you guys get to live, because you just never know. And forget all about the past situations. Forget all about your pride. It's not all about you. It's not all about us. We have to be there for each other. Have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Peace.